What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. So last week I did a tier list taking a look at the World Cup 2023 jerseys. I went through and picked which ones are my favourite, which ones I thought maybe looked the worst, ranked them from S through to D, put it up on the channel, and you guys really enjoyed that video. It got received much better than I expected to. It was just a bit of a light-hearted, fun sideline video. One of the most common comments on that video, you guys wanted to see the alternate jerseys, because that was just for the home jerseys. That's the main one a lot of people will be picking up. But there are certainly some fun alternate jerseys. So you know what? Let's do another one. Let's do another one all about the alternate jerseys. Now, this one took me by surprise. I hope you guys like white kits with slight differences, because that is like 70% of all the kits. I didn't realize just kind of how many teams just play in a white kit as their alternate. I don't know what that is. World Rugby needs to look into this. People need to come up with some more interesting ones. So as I did in the last video, I'll chuck a big picture of each one up in the space over here as we're going through them so you can see a nice clean image. And if you want to try out this tier list yourself, I'll be chucking it out on Twitter. You can go over to the Mad Dragon Twitter page and you can try it out for yourself. Tweet it at me once you've done it and you can see which ones are your favorite, or just drop down in the comments which ones are your favorite or worst from this series. Now, I think this one might actually mix up quite a bit from that home jersey. So, starting out then with Argentina. Now, Argentina are just standing in their blue and white stripe for their standard kit. The alternate, though, I like this. I think this is a cool looking kit. Now, it doesn't scream Argentina to me. I don't think of Argentina when I look at this kit. I would maybe even like to have seen, because I didn't really like the standard home kit for France that much. I might have liked to have seen France go down this type of route with, you know, a stripe. Maybe they could have done red, blue, and white as a stripe going across. That could have been fun. But I do think this is a nice kit. I do like what they've done here. A lot of different colours. It doesn't scream Argentina, but they've got the yellow of the different icons, sort of ties in with the Pumas on the logo as well. I like it as a kit. It's quite stylish and it really does stick out. Where do we put this one? I think this is a cool kit, and I wouldn't actually be against picking this one up myself. I'll drop it into B for now. It might get upgraded as we work through, because you might be seeing a lot of very similar jerseys as we move along. Moving on to the Australia alternate kit then. This is better. When I was doing the home one, the Wallabies one was just sort of that, you know, that gold yellow color. There wasn't really anything interesting on it. The grips on the front of it at least added something to it. But for the alternate kit, though, they've added in all of these different sort of patterns onto the side and the shoulders. On the chest across the middle, they've got this sort of arrowhead that zigzags out towards the armpit, and that band actually continues around the outside. The Wallabies logo looks like, on this picture anyway, it looks like it's in like an all green as well, so that's different as well. I like this one. I think this is actually better than the standard one where it's just a plain gold color. Where would I put this? I think this is quite a nice kit. I'm gonna linger. It's because I put Argentina in B. It's gonna throw me now. I kind of want to put that in B because at least it's different and it's an improvement. I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna move Argentina up. I'm gonna put Australia in B for now. Of course, we can change these as we go along. On to Chile, who, oh man, came in hard. Now, you know, Chile, they've got the colours here, red, white, and blue. Whenever I see these colours, I immediately think of like the USA, and I can imagine this being almost like a USA Sevens kit, almost with a style. I like this. I think this is a cool looking kit with the feathers, the way they've done the sleeves in the blue, front of the collar's blue to match, but then the red stripe on the back of the collar though, so it's not all just one color for the collar. I think this is a really cool shirt. Again, it's not just a block of color. They've mixed it up a bit. Maybe I would have liked to have seen a bit more difference in the shoulders as opposed to just having them white. Maybe they could have had a bit more separation to show the torso line, as opposed to maybe have one of those sort of feathers, you know, carved round where your shoulder is to sort of separate the shoulder area out from just having a block of white color going generally across. But I do like this one. I think I prefer this to the Australia one. Do I prefer it to the Argentina one? I'm not sure. I do like the Argentina one. It just doesn't scream Argentina to me as a team. I'm going to drop Chile with A. I'm going to move that ahead of Australia just because I think this is quite a striking kit. I'm not sure how they'll do at the World Cup, but at least they're going to turn up looking pretty fashionable. On to England then, whose home kit I wasn't really a fan of. I wasn't, that excited by it. It was just white pretty much across the whole way. I did mention on the white one that they did have these like rain droplets, which were grey, and they were really hard to see on the picture. You could probably see it a bit more clearly on this alternate kit because they've gone for this sort of dark blue colour for the bulk of the jersey, and those raindrops in this one are red, and they stand out far more, and they add a little something to that abdomen area. They really don't work on the home one. I wasn't a big fan of them, but I like this general pattern. Sort of along your obliques and across the pecs, having like sectioned areas. I think that's quite cool. I like this kit. I think this is actually better than the home kit. I imagine for a lot of England supporters, they'll want to have a white kit. I think this kit is actually cooler. Again, sort of similar to the Chile one. I kind of wish they'd done a little something with the actual shoulder pads to have maybe made that a slightly different color. Maybe had another one of those sections, but has like a stripe going down. Maybe they could have even incorporated the red cross. There is actually like a cross in between the sections that goes from the collar down and across the chest. Had they done that in red, you could have even had like the red cross going along there as well. I think that could have been kind of cool. And the towards the bottom of the abdomen as well, a little bit bland just down the bottom there, just blue. But I do like this kit. I think this is, I would rather have this than the Australia one. I think the Chile one's quite striking, but I think this is quite a sleek looking kit. Would I rather have this one than the Argentina kit? I don't know. They bring very similar. They're both dark blue. I think Argentina is a little bit more visually striking. I'm going to chuck England behind Argentina. I think I would rather pick that up than Argentina, and Chile can move down to the bottom of A. One that I'm sure a lot of people, though, will be very excited about. I saw this one blow up on Twitter as soon as it came out. The Fijian alternate kit. Now, I'm going to sound really like hypocritical from what I said in the first video, where I was like, I wasn't really sure about the New Zealand, home kit with the black and had all the sort of leaves and ferns on it. It's kind of exactly what Fiji have done. I love this, though. This is such a striking kit with the red ferns. Having the shoulders just be matte, like black, but the actual undercoat underneath the ferns on the general torso is actually like a slight light grey. So it's not just generically black with like a decal stamped on it. I think this is really cool. There's not a lot to it. It just sticks some coloured ferns on, but the colours are vibrant there, quite extreme. When you want an alternate kit, that's kind of what I want. I want an alternate kit that really stands out, looks completely different. I love this. Fiji, for me, moves straight into the S tier. I think it's probably the best alternate kit. We'll have a look through the rest of them, but it's going to be a really, really tough time beating that one. Moving on to France, who I think I rated France quite low, and I think I've put France in C. In the home kit. This one, they've kept the same style. They've got that sort of meshy matte style on the front. They've gone with white instead of blue. Get ready, by the way, to see a whole bunch of different white kits. The blue is nice, to be fair, on the sides and on the edge of the sleeves and on the collar. I do think the actual kit generally looks nice, and the logos are quite large compared to a lot of the other teams. I don't think it's a bad kit, but again, it's just a bit, okay, they added a bit of colour. It's kind of interesting. I really don't think I would pick this up over... I definitely wouldn't pick it up over the Chile one. Would I pick it up over Australia? No, I think I prefer the Australia one. So it looks like France is going towards the bottom of B. I might move it a little bit further down. I actually prefer, weirdly, this kit, I think, to the home kit. I felt just the blue, just sort of, and then a slightly different shade blue wasn't that different. At least for this one, it's white and blue. It stands out a bit more. They've got the red of the crest. I think it's a bit more in tone with France as well. So I kind of prefer that one. Georgia. Yeah, Georgia got their team kits announced. They didn't do them in time for my last video. About a day later, they did the Georgia one. So Georgia have come out now. The picture's not crystal clear. It's a real shame they didn't get like a high quality picture to put out. There was also a second picture for Georgia, which is the players wearing it. So you can actually see a bit of a sharper image of it there. And you can see that the line on the kit actually carries on running down to the shorts. That one's a bit more of a clearer image for you guys, just in case you want to see it. You also get a quick look at the home one too there. But they've also gone for the white kit. They've added this, the sort of, I don't even know actually what the name of it is, the Georgian spiral, let's call it that. That sort of logo that you see on their emblem, that's been put onto the jersey. It's on the home one as well, but this one they've gone for a grey over the white background. Now, the one thing that I do quite like about what Georgia did, again, so many teams could learn from this, rather than just having a white kit. They added the sort of what would you call Georgia? Purple, burgundy, something like that. They added the purple burgundy collar, and then they just had lines going down just to show the extremity of your torso going down, and then it cuts around the side. Very, very easy, nothing particularly crazy about it, but I really think it breaks up a big block of colour that we see with so many other kits. So I like what they've done here. The spiral is a nice little pattern. I think the colour scheme is nice. I think this falls really in line for me with Australia. I don't think these kits look wildly different. I think I would rather pick up the Australia one just because I like how vivid the sort of patterns are on the side. I'm going to drop Georgia just ahead of France. Even the tier list doesn't want me to do that. Oh no, is that a bad omen? What are people going to say down in the comment section? I think I prefer the big pattern style of the Wallabies kit on the shoulder and the sides compared to the line, but I think the line is a really nice way just to break up that chest area. Moving on to Ireland. Now Ireland went straight down into the D tier for me from all the photos. Unfortunately, that one had been a little bit preempted by me because I'd seen all the photos and how poor they looked. I'm still yet to see one of these in real life to know how the fit works, but the photos didn't look great for them. The alternate kit, gone for white, as is everyone, as opposed to the Ireland green. I do like the implements of colour on this one. The Canterbury logo's in green. Of course, you've got the Irish logo in green. Sort of green stripes with that sort of dark blue. It's one thing we've been seeing added into the Ireland kit over the last couple of years, right? The dark blue, as opposed to like black or something. They go for a really dark navy colour, mixed in with that light green. I like the colour scheme. Again, the torso for me is so boring. They do have, I wonder if it's even going to show up in the video for you guys. You might have to push your screens right next to your eyes. They do have these really faint grey like lines that look almost a bit like Morse code. I've really tried to work out if there's any sort of pattern to them. Doesn't look that incredible. It looks like you're looking at a newspaper from a really far away distance. Again, it's nothing outrageous to me, this one. I don't think I would rather pick up any of the other kits than it, which is a real shame. Ireland, if Ireland win this World Cup, it's going to feel really mean to have been putting them down there. I just think their kits have really underperformed. I think I'd rather have every kit on that list than Ireland. So I'm going to drop Ireland down to C for this one, unfortunately. And Ireland have had some really fun kits in the past. Such a shame for this World Cup. Italy then. Italy, it's the same kit. It's the same kit, but in white. And the blue bits that were white on the other one are now white and blue. Like, it's basically just the reverse of that kit. Now, I did like it in blue, and I thought it was nice the way they added so many different shades of blue. This one's slightly different. They've gone for the generic white kit. They've still got that same, I didn't actually look at what the name of that is, that sort of like Roman Caesar crown, like olive leaf thing going across the chest. But they've done it in grey as opposed to like an off-white, which I think was a good move. I still like the Macron logo placement on this one. The World Cup logo is purely in blue, which fits in with the rest of the blue, which is a nice touch. And then the blue sleeves and the blue collar. This one for me, for whatever reason, has far less impression on me than the actual, Italian blue kit for me. I think this one falls more in line with the Ireland kit in terms of what it brings. It's kind of just white with the sleeves. I kind of want to drop France down. I think I would rather have Italy. Oh, it does. It is kind of in line, actually, with Georgia, with just, it's white with a pattern on the front, the coloured sleeve, coloured collar. It's even kind of the same. Yeah, you know what? I've changed my mind. France, unfortunately, is going to drop down to C. Italy can go at the bottom end of B. I really think Georgia and Italy are very, very close in terms of what they offer as a kit. So now I'm going to take it even further, because now that they're very similar, do I even consider, what type of kit it is? Obviously, the Italian kit's got the collar and the buttons, whereas the Georgian kit is a rounded neck. Maybe I'm even taking this a little step further. I'm getting super in depth to this one now. I think the Macron logo is nicer on the placement position for the Italian kit, but I do like the Georgian stripe all the way around. You know what? No, I'm going to leave it like that. I'm second guessing myself now. Let's leave it as that for now. Italy can go in at the bottom of B. On to Japan then, and similarly to the same sort of complaints I had from the home kit, I like the design of the kit. I think the design looks nice, but it is remarkably similar to just the one we saw in 2019. There are some subtle differences. I've had to even go and look at what the differences are. Some of the patterns in the light blue colours are actually slightly different. They're the same patterns, but they've just like moved slightly to different stripes. And those gold lines on the side are on the, like, even like the home jersey, I think they're more robotic. They're quite straight lines. On this kit, they're sort of wiggly. I don't know whether that's just the photo, it makes them look wiggly, or if that is the design to have a bit more of a curve to them. I personally prefer the straight, angle to it and have it really sort of look like it's cutting in. Again, I think this is a cool kit. It's going to face basically all the same criticisms that I had with the other one. I think it's a cool kit, but I just think it's the same as the 2019 one. There's not a lot of differences. If you already own this kit, I really don't feel like you would go and buy a new one. Other than just having a new logo on it, I don't really know what it does. I don't own one, so I guess I'm talking about it from my standpoint. I do like the blue. No one else has got a blue for an alternate kit. I'm wearing blue today. Hey, so there we go. I would probably rather have Japan than a lot of the generic sort of white ones, I guess. Would I rather it than Chile? I don't think so. I kind of like the Chile one. Yeah, I'm gonna drop Japan over in the top of B. Maybe it could be higher. I'm just not a big fan of just how similar it is to that 2019 kit. On to Namibia then, who again, unfortunately, are going to suffer with just the image quality. They've still not put out anything in terms of, high-res images of the kit. We've only got that one video of them being revealed. I'll try and give them my best shot, but it's not a very exciting kit to me. This is just white. The collar almost looks like hexagonal in the photo. I'm not really sure what's going on there. They got that sort of blue undercut line. It looks almost just white, basically, over the whole thing. They've got that red stripe on the arms. I'll be completely fair to them because I've had to get the low quality images from a video. They do have these blue stripes down the side, which, kind of, I don't know, a bit of like a marbly effect, but like light blue. That's an extra addition. But there's really nothing in this kit that screams out to me of anything of any interest. I would much rather have the France kit. I think I'd rather have the Ireland kit. Unfortunately, I think I'm dropping Namibia down to a D. There's nothing about this kit that would, leap out to me and make me think like I've got to reach it. I'm not sure how harsh this is being because of the low image quality. I've tried my best by getting a couple of different angles to make, a bit more sense out of it. But there we go. Unfortunately, Namibia dropping down to D for their alternate kit. The All Blacks then. The All Blacks alternate kit all in white, which is what I kind of expect. I expect their home jersey to be black, the alternate to be white. I think it works really well for a team that plays in black to just play in white. It's the opposite. It's the alternate. I like it. It's the one team I feel like really gets away with just putting on a white kit. Now, a lot of the criticisms that I gave the New Zealand kit, you guys agreed with. I genuinely thought I was going to get roasted in the comments for putting New Zealand so low. A lot of you guys actually really agreed with it. The alternate kit, I think looks better. I think looks better with this fern pattern. I think the color scheme they've gone for is better. Having the generic white kit, but having the ferns like, it's not even like silver or grey. It's like an off-white. It's like a dark white colour. So they don't stand out as much as they did on the black kit. And I think this is much nicer. I feel like you could even stand 6 feet away from someone wearing the shirt and it wouldn't stick out that much. I think this looks better. All the logos in black. I don't think we've seen that on any other kit so far. They just have all the logos as black. And I think this is quite a strong looking jersey, just generally. This one's going to maybe be a bit hypocritical from some of the other stuff that I've said about other kits. I like this one in white far more than I did in black. I think I put it in D, actually, for the home one. I feel like I would rather have that than the Ireland one. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to get up into here. I still think I would rather have some of those kits than this. But I am actually kind of tempted to put it ahead of France. For all my things that I just said about them being boring and just being one white kit, it does have the patterns all over. It at least breaks it up when you're looking quite close to it. You've got that little bit of gold because New Zealand have actually won a World Cup, and like me over here as a Wales supporter, so they've got a nice bit of gold to break up that one arm. I actually think I would rather pick this one up than the France kit. Maybe I'm being mad there, but yeah, for all the criticisms I gave this in the black kit, yeah, I think this looks much, much better in white. On to Portugal then. Portugal jumping in here with white, but they haven't just gone all white, so I already like it. They basically got the same kit as what we saw in the red. It's the exact same design, but just color shifting, which is fine. I don't mind that too much, as opposed to just having something, you know, eccentric when your kit already looks good. Now, the Portugal home kit, I put in S. Was it the top of S? I can't even remember now off the top of my head. But for this one, they've kept with that sort of dice shield, you know, sets of 5 pattern that they're going across it. They've got for, you know, just white generally over it, but then grey across the shoulders down to the sleeves, down the sides, and even cutting in at the bottom of the abdomen. Again, that's something so many of these other kits could have done. Have it cut in so it's not a block of colour all the way down, and cut out a little bit at the bottom. The green and red still in there, and all the logos in green as well, which is really nice. Even the Ireland one didn't have that right. They actually kept the World Cup logo the same. I like this one. I think Portugal have done extremely well. I'm not sure what they'll do in the World Cup, but in terms of their design kits they brought, I would rather pick this one up than, I think, a lot of the other white kits. I think I'm going to rate this one higher than Japan, because I feel like there's a lot more work got into it. Would I rather have this one than Chile? I quite like the Chile one. I think I'm going to drop Portugal just behind Chile. There's something about that Chile one that just strikes you like, whoa, this looks really cool with the red, white, and blue. I still think the Portugal kit's a very sleek looking kit. I think it looks really nice. You could maybe even get away, if you're someone who likes multiple sports, you could maybe even wear this sort of thing to like a football game. It kind of has like a football jersey feel to it, which is, you know, Portugal, football's a massive sport. Maybe they've taken some inspiration from that. But you could definitely wear this to a couple of other sports as well, which is really nice. Yeah, drop that at bottom of A. I'm happy with that. On to Romania then. Now, Romania, unfortunately, in the World Cup shop didn't have any, you know, good pictures of any of the jerseys or anything, and their actual, you know, sideline pictures they put up for them, there wasn't very good pictures for it. So I did manage to find this one of a player wearing a kit. So we've got this lovely photo of a gentleman wearing the kit. He's got his legs spread far too apart for a man sitting on a step, and he's cradling his ball there. So we'll, you know, avert your eyes. We're only focusing on the jersey, guys. That's what we're focused on this one. So the Romania kit, kind of similar to what they did with the home one. That's gone from yellow. It's now going to be white. You know, that's okay. Fair enough. I'm not really sure I would associate white with Romania, given, you know, red, yellow, and blue. I thought they could have come up with another real eccentric color. I thought, you know, make red the dominant color and do something else with it. I think they could have come up with something better than white. I'm still not sure about the collar on it, where it just sort of go straight down. I think I had that same criticism of the home jersey, but that's the design they've gone for. The same color blue as we've seen on a couple of other kits. The logos are all the same. The edge on the sleeves are the same color. They've still kept those designs just above the sleeve, but I really liked it on the home kit because it was like two-tone. They were different. This one just looks a little bit, you know, less exciting for me. There's not a great deal to take away from this one. I'm going to drop this one. You know, the torso is just sort of white. I kind of feel like it fits in with France and Ireland. I think I'm gonna. I feel like that feels like really mean to drop it down there, because they've done a little bit more with the kit than like the Ireland kit. But I think the overall look is very close to just what Ireland have done, but minus they added a couple of like patterns on the sleeves. But I do prefer the Ireland like collar. As opposed to this Romanian straight one down. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. You know what? No, I'm gonna drop Romania down. Unfortunately, Romania, you're down to the bottom of C for the alternate kit for me. On to Samoa then. Who, man, am I disappointed by this one? I did see those couple of different images for the home one. This for me is a really quite boring kit. This is just white. Everything is white. Okay, they've got the blue collar, and I do like the angled collar that it ends up in a bit more of a V, and the Macron logo. All the positives still come over from the home one, but this is just a white kit. They've got that sort of side panel is like maybe a bit grey. It was light blue on the home one. They've got the same symbol on the shoulder, but again in a light grey. I don't even think it stands out that much. Maybe that's the image quality, but yeah, I'm not impressed by this. There's nothing particularly wild or interesting about this. Still costs like £85 in the UK to pick up this kit. Nothing too incredible for me here. I'm going to drop this one down. I'm still going to put it... Oh my god, am I even going to put it ahead of Namibia? I couldn't even really see the Namibia kit very well, but you know, at least they've done something. They've got some coloured sleeves and they've got the side panel. Oh, you know what? No, I'm lying to myself. I'm going to drop Samoa down bottom of D. You know, if you like your white kits, this is maybe the perfect kit for you. But yeah, that one for me, just nothing going on. Just white kits with a very, very small amount of blue. Real shame for Samoa in this one. On to Scotland then, who aren't far away from what I just said about the the Samoa kit, to be fair. Going for pretty much all white. It does look like in the image, again, it's quite hard to see, that on it looks like there's almost stripes generally on like the abdomen and the chest. I can't tell if that's just the picture quality. At least they've incorporated the, you know, the tartan onto the sleeves, and they've got that sort of rounded collar that goes down to the point where it's, you know, added a bit more blue. All the logos in the same color, matching up. We've said this for a couple of the other kits. Unfortunately, this really doesn't stand out to me as much as the home one for Scotland. It's basically they just exchanged the blue for the white, but they've really lost a little something in this one for me. Again, I really feel it's a shame they lost the collar with the, you know, the tartan underneath the collar. Unfortunately, I think the alternate for Scotland is dropping down. It's going to be landing between your France and Ireland here. They've sort of brought basically the exact same as Ireland, right? They've got a white kit with a different coloured collar and a different... I think it's fair to put it next to the Ireland one. It basically is the identical kit, really, except you've got, you know, different coloured sleeves. I do just personally prefer the tartan look compared to that just sort of stripe that Ireland did. So Scotland, unfortunately for this one, dropping down from C. I can't remember what I put for the home one. I might have even put A for the Scotland home one. I did like that one. On to the Springboks alternate jersey. Now this one, really interesting. I really like this kit. It got ransacked on Twitter. Loads of South African supporters hate this kit. I don't know why. I think this is a cool looking kit. The only thing I will say about this one, sort of similar to Argentina, none of this says South Africa to me. I can't imagine South Africa wearing this. I could maybe see Fiji pulling this off, you know, with some of their more eccentric colours and stuff. I don't think this fits the Springbok style. I think the Springboks home kit was a lovely looking kit with what they did. I think this is a cool design and a nice colour scheme. It doesn't fit South Africa for me. Would I pick it up though? Maybe, in all honesty. I think this is a cool kit. I think this is totally different to any of the other kits that you've seen. You know, some quite vibrant patterns going all the way down. Really interesting colour choices. No one else is picking this like turquoise blue. Like I said, it doesn't fit the South African team for me. Unfortunately, this image is also, it's not the World Cup jersey. It's the same jersey, but they're moving the logos across because the World Cup logo has to go on as well. Obviously, you also don't have the MTN logo on the World Cup jersey as well, so bear that in mind. It will look ever so slightly different. I still can't get a crisp image of the actual World Cup kit for them. But I'm going to move this one up high. I like this kit. I think this is an interesting looking kit anyway, even if I don't think it resembles the Springboks particularly well. I would rather have this than the Portugal. There's something about that Chile kit, man. I'm almost tempted to move Chile further up. Every time I look at it, I go, that's a cool kit. I kind of want that one. I certainly think I'm going to drop it in A. I feel like the England one is more professional, clean cut. And the Springboks one feels like quite an eccentric rugby jersey. You could see someone playing in like a sevens tournament in, just, you know, a bit more out there. I quite like it. You know what? I'm going to be happy with that A placement for now, and I'll stick it there. We might move some around by the end of the video. On to Tonga. Tonga going in. The Tonga one I did like from the home one. Unfortunately, the pattern and stuff they added onto the home kit doesn't seem to be there. For the alternate, just white. It's just white. We've said it before. So we're looking at a white jersey with red shoulder pads, red edges, red side panels. Unfortunately, given the law of what I've seen to be applying to this one, we're fitting in down here, and it just becomes which colour do you like more? Or do you like green, red, or blue more? That's kind of what it feels like at the minute. I think they've maybe done a bit more just because they've added the little side of red compared to the Scotland and the Ireland jersey. Maybe I would drop Tonga there. I think I would rather have the France one than Tonga. Would I rather have the Scotland one than the Tonga? I don't know if that's just because I like Scotland. It's like that's not being very unbiased about it. Is it visually? If I'm spending money, which one would I rather get? I would rather get the Scotland one. I prefer the tartan colour to just block red. I even feel like I prefer the colour design and the way it's done on the Ireland one, but the actual jersey itself, the way I feel like it would fit me if I was to buy it. I think the Tonga one would be better for me compared to the Ireland one, which looks a little bit more curvy and a little bit more flowy. As we've seen in the pictures, it looks a bit more baggy. I'm going to drop Tonga in there in sort of middle C for me. I'm kind of happy with that one. On to Uruguay then, who unfortunately are going to face all the same issues I had to say about the home kit. We have no clean image of it. It's taken from a video that looks like it's a video of like a crumpled up Polaroid almost. I don't know what's going on there. The actual kit is hard to get a look at. The collar, I still really dislike this collar. The pattern though they've gone for, it's the same kit. They've just added the yellow over where the light blue was, and they've incorporated the light blue onto the sort of collar and the sleeves. I'm not sure whether I like the color scheme working together. It's quite an out there kit. I like they've gone confident for it. But if I'm picking up like a yellowy gold kit, I feel like Australia did it better in terms of their home kit. Where is this going? It immediately overtakes Samoa. I think Samoa might be the worst one. Don't think it gets to move up, unfortunately. I really dislike the collar. It's just a personal preference about the collar. I think I'd rather keep that. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to drop it down there. No, you know what? That feels harsh, because at least they've done something with the color as opposed to just being white. My issue with it is I don't like the jersey style itself as opposed to, the design they've done. So I'm going to put it at C because I think the jersey style and that collar and it hanging like up here, I really don't like it. It has to be limited at a C for me. I don't think it's allowed to go higher, but I don't think it should drop to a D because at least they've done something with the color scheme. It's more interesting. They do have a pattern on their actual abdomen of those suns. It's an interesting color. It's certainly better than being in the same ranks as the bottom two for me. But I do think the ones ahead of it are just a generally cleaner, fitting shirt. I think they would look better. I think they look more sleek. And sometimes the minimalists are just doing white with just a color. Even though it's kind of boring, it's fine, right? I'm going to stick Uruguay down the bottom there. And then finally on to Wales. Now Wales came in with a really striking kit. I wasn't expecting this at all. Going for black and yellow. I quite like Wales having a black kit. And not a lot of teams, in fact, no other team's gone for an alternate black kit, right? England are probably the closest on that dark navy colour. They've gone for the black with that sort of very luminescent yellow. They've got the cross on as well. So all of this, because I know it, it's tied up because it's the flag of St. David. Now, I'm going to try and not let that be like an influence because I know that because I'm a Wales supporter. But some of the other kits may have incorporated something like that into one of the other ones, but I don't know it. So I'm going to try and avoid that being the design, even though that's why the design is this color in that way. And I do think that's cool. But I quite like the more out there color scheme. The yellow is interesting. I can't make up my mind whether I like that color yellow on a jersey. It's like a very luminescent yellow. It's like a highlighter. And I can't make up my mind. I've seen a lot of people have been very 50-50, but people love this kit, or they're like, yeah, not for me. I did like the 2019 kit for Wales, the green one with that shield pattern, but I hated the collar. This one, sort of similar to the home one. It's clean. It's like a stylish kit. You could wear this like just a general polo shirt almost if you wanted to. I like the collar, I like the button down, all the logos in that same color yellow. I don't think it's a bad looking kit at all. I think it's down to my personal preference and what I like to think of a kit. I feel like just the fact it's not just another white kit immediately boosts it up for me. What would I rather have this then? I would rather pick this. Would I rather have this than the Japan kit? I feel like I might actually rather have the Japan one, but because the Japan one is so similar to just the 2019 one, they've just done it again. They've added a few more squiggly lines. I feel like it deserves to go above that one. Would I rather have this kit than the Portugal one? I'm really not sure if I would rather have this than the Portugal one, just in terms of the style and design. It's nice that it's black. I feel like it definitely should go above Japan and sit in B. I'm almost kind of tempted to drop Portugal down to the B. I'm wondering would I rather have Portugal as much as some of these other ones? And the answer is most likely no. I think I would rather have all of them rather than Portugal. But I might want to pick up Portugal over the Wales one. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm going to go for. I'm not sure if I'm even happy about that as my own decision. I really had to study that one quite hard. I wasn't really expecting that one to be such a massive decision for me. So there we have it, guys. That's going to be the video for today, taking a look at the alternate jerseys and putting them into my personal tier list. Of course, it's a personal preference thing. Everyone will have a slightly different opinion, so make sure you drop down in the comment section which one you think deserves to be in that S rank, which one deserves to be down there in the D, and you just didn't think they didn't put enough effort into that one. If you enjoyed this one today, make sure to drop it a like, and like I said, if you want to try this out for yourself, it will be over on Twitter on the Mad Dragon page, so you can go in, use the link, set it up yourself, have a go yourself, and try and put them into an order. And you can even tag me in it on Twitter if you really fancy sharing it or what have you, to see what some other people have put. I hope you've all enjoyed this one today, guys. I will see you all next time. Bye bye.